What does it truly mean to focus on oneself? How can we navigate through the sea of other people's opinions and expectations to anchor our self-worth and purpose in our own values and beliefs? The answer lies in the wisdom of a man who lived nearly 2 millennia ago. His name was Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher and a Roman emperor. Marcus Aurelius was not an ordinary man, but he dealt with ordinary problems, just like you and me. His life was not without its share of challenges and criticisms. Yet, he found a way to remain focused on himself, undeterred by the opinions of others. One of the most telling anecdotes from Aurelius's life revolves around a gladiatorial show he once held in Rome. The public criticized him for not providing a lavish spectacle. Instead of bending to public opinion, he stood firm. His rationale was simple. The purpose of the spectacle was to honor the gods, not to entertain the masses. This instance stands as a testament to his ability to focus on his own values, regardless of the clamor of the crowd. So, how did Marcus Aurelius manage to stay focused on himself amidst the pressures of being a public figure? The answer lies in his philosophy, Stoicism. Stoicism taught him to distinguish between things within his control and things outside of it. It taught him to focus his energy and attention on his actions, his responses, his thoughts, and his values, the things within his control. Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, which we now know as Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the essence of his approach to self-focus. He understood that he could not control other people's opinions or the world around him. What he could control were his thoughts, his reactions, and his actions. Another key point from Aurelius's philosophy is the importance of self-reflection. He believed that we should constantly examine and question our thoughts and actions. By doing this, we can understand our true selves better and ensure that our actions align with our values. He wrote, "Your task is to stand straight, not held straight." This means that we should aim to uphold our values and beliefs, not because others expect it of us, but because we expect it of ourselves. Finally, Aurelius believed in the power of acceptance. He wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Acceptance for him was not about resignation, but about acknowledging reality and choosing to act in accordance with our values regardless of the circumstances. So, in essence, focusing on oneself, according to Marcus Aurelius, involves understanding what is within our control and what is not, constant self-reflection and acceptance of reality. It's about anchoring our self-worth in our own values and beliefs rather than in the opinions of others. It's about finding strength in our own minds and standing straight, not because the world expects it, but because we do. It's about living with all our heart, regardless of where fate may lead us. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher-emperor of Rome, showed us the way to focus on ourselves amidst the clamor of the world. It's a path that demands courage and strength, but it's a path that leads to a life lived true to oneself. So, as we navigate through our own sea of opinions and expectations, remember Aurelius's wisdom and choose to focus on the one thing we can control, ourselves. Voiceover: Marcus Aurelius's philosophy is not just a profound reflection of his wisdom, but also a practical guide for our everyday life. It's an invitation to shift our focus inward, to better understand ourselves, and to live in alignment with our values. Let's recap the key points from Aurelius's philosophy. He taught us to differentiate between what is within our control and what is not, to constantly engage in self-reflection, and to accept reality as it unfolds. This Stoic philosophy encourages us to anchor our self-worth in our own values and beliefs, rather than in the fickle opinions of others. But how do we apply these principles in our own life? It begins with the understanding that focusing on oneself is not a selfish act, but a necessary one. It's about allowing our values to guide our actions, about finding strength in our own minds, and about standing tall not because the world expects it, but because we do. It's about living with authenticity, regardless of where fate may lead us. Remember, the journey to self-focus is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires courage, strength, and a commitment to self-improvement. But with each passing day, as we consciously choose to focus on ourselves, we take one step closer to living a life true to our values, just like Marcus Aurelius. So as you navigate through your own sea of opinions and expectations, remember Aurelius's wisdom. Choose to focus on the one thing you can control, yourself, because in the end, the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday.